Hello and welcome to another rant. My name is, we'll try this, Henning Pauli. Let's see if the YouTube subtitles can pull that off. Channel name is HP42. Hello. We're talking about my metamorphosis, me transitioning. No, that's not fair. It is a transition for me, but it is not a transition, if you know what I mean. Before we talk about the metamorphosis, me making some changes, what's it called? The sponsor of today's video, just like last time, right there. They sent me this thing. They're called the Fellowship of Acoustics in the Netherlands. Let me show you the thing that they sent me. If you haven't seen the unboxing, you should. There's going to be a review and all that. This is beat up. This is icky. This is just it's a piece of pine. You can see this very clearly here. It's a piece of pine, looks like from an old barn find, bolt on, doesn't even have locking tuners. Novo Series J. Comes from one of the premier Novo dealers in Europe, which is, let me turn phones off here, which is the Fellowship of Acoustics in the Netherlands. They have a lot of Novo. This guitar is rather pricey, but holy crap, does it sing. We're going to do a video on how to spot an excellent guitar, and this is going to be our test subject. So the Fellowship of Acoustics in the Netherlands, they sell Novo. They sell obviously a lot of acoustics, but not just acoustics. They have Fender Custom Shop, Gibson Custom Shop. They have PRS. They have Mayonnaise. They have a bunch of brands that you might not have ever heard of. And they specialize in more high-end gear. They also have some high-end amps. But it is a place where you can go and spend a beautiful day, be treated nicely, be able to play what they have on the walls. I mean, how are you going to beat this thing up even more, right? And actually experience this kind of gear in a beautiful environment, in a beautiful little town in Holland, right across the German border. So if you're in Germany, go. If you're in Holland, go. If you're in Belgium, if you're in France, make a trip out of it. Okay? The Fellowship of Acoustics is a great place. I myself am going there in May, I think, to check it out and film. And they're sponsoring these Sunday videos. So thank you for that. And this is mine. It'll be, this is really just, this is how the videos are paid for. And the idea was that I have something in my hand that I can show you, and I can't put this thing down. I mean, right now I have to, but you'll hear this in videos and you're gonna shit yourself. If you got any taste for tone, you're gonna shit yourself. So I'm making changes, and some of you might already have noticed this. There's dirt on the floor. I'm no longer wearing silly sweaters. It's a big change. For 8 or 10 years, I've been wearing unicorns and cats and cucumbers and cacti and whatever silly thing Mr. Gugu from Poland produced. I found this company years ago, wrote them an email, started working with them, and the deal always was, I don't get any money, but I get all the silly sweaters to wear in videos, all the silly sweaters, hoodies, pants, t-shirts. I have hundreds, which was a good deal. I didn't have to spend money on clothing. And since I now bought clothing, I know it can be very, very pricey. But they said a while ago, we're stopping all of our influencer relations. And the influencer relations lady went away. They sent one more shipment, that's it. And they said, we're stopping all of our relations with influencers. Why? I don't understand. Influencer marketing works. It was very cheap for them to just send me the product, no money exchanged hands. And okay, I was like, okay, that's fine. I have a lot of them to wear. I'll keep doing that. And then someone wrote me an email saying, did you know that your code doesn't work anymore? They had an HP20 code that was under thousands of videos now, which gave you 20%. So they also didn't just stop working with me, they stopped working with you. So I'm now advertising in all these thousands of videos a company with a code under the video that they just canceled. So you can't even get the 20% off anymore. That's bullshit. I was okay with them not screwing me over, but stopping working with me. I'm not okay them just canceling the code that's under thousands of videos. And now I look like a liar by telling you there's a code under the video when there isn't. So I look like a normal human being now. That was my conscious choice to make. It's boring, and maybe you came to these videos because you saw that funny sweater, but I can't in good conscience continue the funny sweaters. Now I look like this. Plain and simple. I bought chinos yesterday. I don't know what chinos are, but they're comfortable. I've only ever had jeans to wear. I'm making changes. I'm trying to find a new me. Found part of them already. Here you go. I also signed up to the gym because I'm fat. Hey, that's just a change in my life. Will I continue to do it? Who knows? Will I lose weight? Maybe. Will I definitely have less problems with my arm and tennis elbow because I'm building some muscle? I hope so. Can I continue it? Do I have the strength? I don't know. Yes, Valeria. I know. Valeria is my personal yelly trainer from Chile. She's a personal trainer, and she will make sure that I keep going. When she yells, I can hear that here from Chile. No tech necessary. That's how loud the woman is. I love you, Valeria. So I'm doing that. Going to the gym. Who cares? The other change, again, has nothing to do with guitar. Well, in a way it does, maybe. No more social media, except professionally. Watch Diary of a CEO about brain rot. It's a great podcast. And he had two psychiatrists, psychologists on there talking about how in a very, very, very targeted way, these social media platforms are making you addicted to what they're doing, and how this short form content absolutely rots your brain. It actively does. It makes you stupider. And how we protect the kids from it, that's the next step. Hopefully that's happening everywhere. No more social media for kids under 16. I'm even saying 18. I'm saying classes in schools that teach responsible interaction on social media, bullying. It needs to be taught before they even get on there, but that's a different thing. But here's the thing. I somehow got into a part of the algorithm that was dirty. On Facebook, they started showing me the White House Department of something, and I got all these US administration official Facebook pages and saw the, AI generated lies that are on there. Blatant lies. And then looking through the comments, and it was shocking and depressing. And then I got all this right-wing stuff, and I told myself, this is not good for me. I'm doing less Facebook. And then all of a sudden I find myself on the desktop scrolling through Facebook for 20 minutes. And I didn't know how I got there. I find myself on my phone. I told myself I'm not going on Facebook. For you, it might be TikTok, or it might be, Instagram. And I'm scrolling, and 10 minutes in, I'm like, wait a second. I never made a conscious decision to click on the little blue F. I never did that. That's not something I actually decided to do. How the fuck did I get here? That's an addiction. And then when you go through the reels on Facebook, here's a snake, here's a guy jumping a BMX, here's RC cars, and whatever you do, then you get more of this. And you realize that if you really think about it, there's no value. There's absolutely zero value. I've just spent 10 minutes, wasn't even that entertained. I gained no information. I didn't learn anything. This was just a waste of time. Absolutely zero value. And a lot of it could now be AI generated. So in addition to zero value, I'm trying to find out, is this AI or not? If I didn't consume it, I wouldn't have to rack my brain about it. AI stuff's not a problem if you don't consume any of the the content. Obviously, the same goes for Instagram, even worse on TikTok. The apps were on the phone. And I'm on the couch in the evening. And you grab your phone, there's a movie playing, and I'm scrolling through that shit. They're now writing the scripts. This is no joke. They're writing movie and television scripts in ways that are so easy, and the plot gets explained by the actors over and over in a very dumb way, so that you can scroll on your phone but still follow the plot. They're dumbing down television because you're dumbing down your own brain by scrolling through social media while watching TV. And I am doing that. Woke up in the morning, and I have the job where I can do this. Woke up in the morning early because Leslie gets up early for the dogs. And I'm in bed, I'm going through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, doing my social media rounds. And that's an hour. That's an hour before I actually get out of bed and I've done all my social media stuff. I'm like, and it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't teach me anything. Completely ridiculous. I'm on the couch in the evening, checking in my YouTube Studio app, I'm checking the clicks. And I'm getting depressed because there are not enough of them. Or I'm happy because there's a good amount of clicks. Usually it's more depressed. I'm like, I can't do anything about this now. Video's out, that's it. I'm reading comments where people say, go take a lesson. And then I run around like, does he have a point? No, of course he doesn't have a fucking point. Or I lose 5 subscribers. I'm like, oh, why? And you go to bed and you question yourself, am I not a good human being because I lost 5 subscribers? I don't need this in my life. But that's my job. So I couldn't take things, that's Bruno. I couldn't take Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff off my phone because I need access to the apps on a phone. So once I realized that, I immediately went out, got myself an iPhone Air. Doesn't do much, doesn't have the biggest camera. If I need a good camera for the job, I've got this here. And it doesn't do as much as the normal iPhone Pro Max. It doesn't have all the cameras, doesn't have the battery life. But you know what? First of all, when I picked this one up, it's a brick compared to this, so that's nice. Didn't even get a case for it because I wanted something super slim. I mean, why would you have the slimmest thing on the market and then put a case around it? But there's no YouTube Studio on here. There's no Facebook on here. There's no TikTok. There's no Instagram. There's no social media. I got WhatsApp. I've got the communication apps. I've got Messenger. I've got WhatsApp so I can communicate with people. Some things like I can control the robot that vacuums in here, stuff like this. And if I want to pass the time somewhere, I got Coconut People's mini golf, walkabout mini golf. It's not loading. I don't know why. I got that. I'll play mini golf. There you go. Walkabout mini golf. Or I've got some puzzle games. You know what? Much better for your fucking brain. And so that podcast was a turning point, but the bigger turning point was my trip to London with Perfecto de Castro and Colin Scott. And Colin and I were on the train getting out of London, going home, and the train was stopped for 10 minutes. And I was standing, and there was a young woman next to me sitting. She probably was 24, 25, something like, what do I know, but in her 20s. And I was never so disgusted or shocked. I mean, okay, now I was more disgusted and more shocked about other things, but I was very disgusted and shocked about her behavior. She was on TikTok. She scrolled up, which apparently they did to mimic the behavior of a one-armed bandit, which makes you addicted. That's what they said in that podcast. Watch it. It's so good. You need to know. Also, watch The Social Dilemma, where all the people behind Facebook and all these companies whistleblow on the techniques that they use to keep you addicted. It is a physical addiction. Don't kid yourself. You are physically addicted to the dopamine output. Because I am. I'm weaning myself off now. So she's scrolling up, and within, I'm going to say, 100 milliseconds, she had her right hand on the heart. She hearted something that her brain hadn't even registered what it was. But she hearted it because, hey, heart, 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 heart. We're talking about that speed. Bam, heart. Bam, heart. Bam, heart. No, it wasn't that. It was bam, heart. 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 It was ridiculous. Then, in a speed that is, I thought I'm in fast forward. She hits send to a friend, types something in a speed that I couldn't do because I'm an old fart, and then emoji. Bum, 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 bum. 5 emojis right behind it. Bam, send. Next, scroll up, heart. Send to friend. Emoji, 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 emoji. That alone was disgusting, because how do you consume information like that? But then I realized the whole time she had her right thumb on the screen and she was watching everything in 2 speed. Now, what was she watching? She was watching, there were clips of Friends from the 90s. There were like some clipped out things on TikTok from comedy shows. And there's, timing, pacing, it's all important. Now she was, send, emoji, 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 heart. This was the speed. And I was afraid for that generation. I can't explain to them how bad that is. I can't explain to them what that does to their brains. But I realized, and I'm not super active, on Facebook and all that stuff. I am a bit, but not too much. But I'm like, why? And why do we share, here's me at the gym? Why would you care about that? I mean, I know you watch these rants and some of them are about personal life, but do I need to do stories 10 a day? And I know a lot of my colleagues and friends do that. Here's me in the city, smile. Here's me at the gym, smile. Here's the burger I'm eating right now. Do we really need to share all this shit? Maybe look at a tree, I don't know, beat up a squirrel, arm wrestle a beaver, do nature stuff. I don't know what you do in nature. I don't go outside, but you know what I mean. Like, do I really need to share all these details with people? I mean, when I started Instagram, I trolled it. I did table corners because I thought it was stupid to share all this stuff. So wherever I was, whoever I was on the table with, didn't show the people, didn't do selfies. I don't do selfies. I did table corners. Okay, maybe I'm different, but do I really care who you are interacting with at some place right now? Selfie. Selfie. It's gotten ridiculous. I know this is a sermon and you don't want to hear it because you love your Instagram or whatever. We've got this young girl living up the street. They moved in a year ago. Gorgeous young woman. And she walks down the street every day to the bus to go to school. And she's on her phone the whole time. And then she stops at my brother's house on the corner. There's a ragged fence behind her, crooked, and a wooden box and a yellow house wall. There's nothing there. And she goes, click, post. I'm going to tell you, on the way down the street, and it's not a long street, she probably posts selfies twice. Who gives a shit that she's on the way to school in front of my brother's house? That's not even a scenic spot. And yes, I signed up to the gym. I could show you, oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, so that you know I'm doing this. But I'm doing this for me. Have we stopped doing things for ourselves? How many kids have died eating Tide Pods or jumping down things because they wanted to post it on the stupid socials? How many people have wrecked their lives? How many be doing some viral thing? What was the latest thing? Kids were running into garden fences. Now it's something else. And all this wouldn't happen if we didn't have to prove that we're also doing it on the stupid ass socials. This is not good for anyone. except for the companies collecting all your behavior and data to sell it to the highest bidder so they can advertise to you in a more targeted way. Again, do yourself a favor. If you care the slightest bit, Diary of a CEO, Brain Rot, put that in, and The Social Dilemma, it's a 1.5 hour documentary on Netflix. And again, same thing here. I'm still using Instagram and Facebook on the desktop. I have to go there sometimes and look at things or post things. It's my job. But I made a cut, spent the money on this phone, which I'm very happy I did because it's lighter, smaller, and I can't do much on it except for the things that are either fun, like play mini golf, or read an email, watch a YouTube video, all good. But I do not consume any shorts on any platform. I do not scroll. I do not do the one-arm bandit thing. Because it's, and if someone sends me a reel on Instagram like Leslie does, yeah, I look at it, it's funny, okay, but I don't do the scrolling anymore. You might think about it for a second and find out how extremely dumb our behavior nowadays is. I'm sorry to say it. Not to be high and mighty, but I realized myself that I had a problem with Facebook. When I was there and I didn't know how I got there. When I was there and I didn't know how I got there on the desktop. How much time I wasted. And when you don't go to the gym, my big thing was always like, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Which was true. Once I stopped doing social media in the morning, I have absolutely no excuse anymore. Because that time that I spend on social media, I now have. So I show up to the gym at 8 when they open up, and I'm in there for an hour. That's exactly the time I spend on social media. So no more excuses. Think about the stuff you could do with your life if you don't do social media anymore. And maybe do puzzle games. Or, I have Jeopardy on here. Yeah, stuff like that. Those are the changes I made. Clothing, trying to be healthier, social media. Means nothing to any of you, but I'm just sharing my experience. Maybe that was interesting, maybe it was not. But that's what I'm doing. And, tomorrow, we've got a video about guitars again. Watch that. It's really why you're here. Love you all. Almost at the end.